Scorpio, you have so much going on inside of your world. So much that's just turning and going in direction, and you have an abundance to give, an overflow, an overwhelming amount of energy to give away, to the point where everyone around you just doesn't understand the depth that you go to on an everyday basis. When you wake up in the morning to when you go to bed, you are in a constant state of giving. Sometimes you're giving love, sometimes you're giving, you're teaching somebody a lesson. And it could be a hard lesson. Sometimes you're ending someone's entire perception. It's not always a happy thing, but you are in a constant state of giving. You're always giving. And that can be saddening because in your heart, you're just out to give. You're literally out to give away. Imagine, Christmas or any type of gift exchanging experience. You're just there to give a gift. You're there to give something of yours away because you have so much depth. You have so much experience, so much that you feel, that there's so much going on underneath. You're just like, I have to share this with you. And I feel like in some aspects that comes back to you and it bites you in the ass, because while you're giving, the ones that aren't giving back, the ones that aren't exchanging with you, they're draining you, because they're like, oh, well, Scorpio's just going to give me this. Scorpios just give. I'm, so they're raising their hand. They're like, hey, I'm here. Yeah, I want some of that. And what's happening is it's creating this domino effect where you're needing to rearrange how you go about your giving, how you go about exchanging your energy with people, because it's imbalanced. You're giving 2 and they're giving 1, and I feel like sometimes a lot more, like you're giving more than 2 and they're maybe receiving. So here you go. Look, I mean, there's that 2 energy. So we go from 3 to 2. You're trying to send out. You're trying to say, here, I send out 100% of myself, 110%. I'm showing up. I'm here. I'm giving away a part of me because that's what you do. It's because it's what you do. You show up for that friend. You show up for that person, that relationship, that job. You are there, and you are there for real. Like, you are in love with whatever it is that you're putting your energy in, because you have so much depth and love for whatever you give yourself to, because you're not going to waste your time. You're not a person that sets their self out to waste their time. You just, if it's going to waste your time, you don't even mind. Like, why? Why? So pouring your heart into something has caused you to move away, because there's some sort of evolution happening here where this giving, this loving, this giving, exchanging relationship has forced you in a position to walk away. You've had to walk away and move into a new energy. It's like your own little mini eclipse. Like, you're having to block your emotions. You're having to say, yo, this overflow that I'm just like giving away, it can't happen like this. I have to set a boundary and say, you know what? Even though I love the situation, because you do, I don't really think you stop loving. Even if you can stop giving, I don't think you stop loving. And you're walking away, into this desert, into this abyss. You're heading in a direction where you're having to set a new course, set a new path, uncomfortably, because it's not an emotional path. It's not something that you're jumping into it with your heart with no strings attached. It's all your comfortable space is unconditional love. This is an uncomfortable space. This is a space where it's not even about conditional or unconditional love. It's about bringing resources together and building something and starting something and heading in a direction that's very practical and thoughtful and meticulous. And this is also your power. This is very Mars. Mars and Pluto isn't just about the unconditional, mysterious side of love that, you can go to, that watery realm or even that fiery place. It's about this really grounded experience to take that power that you possess and to create a very practical vision for yourself, to grow something that you haven't done yet. This is something very new to you, not jumping into something emotional is difficult, holding back. It's like you're having to hold back. Yeah, you walked away. That's you literally walking away. You're literally leaving behind your comfort zone. You set on a path. You sent something into the universe saying, I'm going to be different. I'm not going to pour my heart into situations. I'm going to try things out. I'm going to think things through a little bit more. I'm going to spend a little bit more time planning, a little bit more time thinking things through, because you've mastered the idea of stepping back and observing, because you've been hurt, you've been cut, you've been pushed down, you've been even put in places and used, and this has created a mindset within you that you have to protect your heart. There is no other option. Even though you still want to give, you desperately want to love. You have to protect yourself. This is like a defense mechanism on steroids, that you're leveling up and understanding that you have this ability to step back and observe what's happening rather than allowing anything to hold you back, because you're starting to see that there's this beautiful, abundant, material thing. There's something that you can obtain that you're so close to obtaining, but your emotions have held you back. It's not that you can't love this thing. It's not that you're not going to love this thing, because I don't think you can live without love. I don't think a Scorpio especially is going to survive reality without loving what it is they're experiencing. So being in love with what you do is a very powerful part of your experience, being able to enter it with an open heart, and then when it doesn't fulfill you, being able to leave it behind and start this new chapter, that whole constant evolution, that leveling up, because the Scorpio is set on a path to evolve. All people, all signs are evolving at all times. But there's something about Scorpios that I feel is within the design to evolve and evolve and evolve in a rapid, short amount of time, because many other lifetimes you have taken long periods of time to evolve. And it's like this lifetime, you're trying to get it now. Like you're trying to get many karmic debts or level ups. Like you're trying to get back to knowing, back to intuition, back to wisdom, back to source, where you're all knowing. You're trying to get back to God's space. And in order to do so, you have to level up. And in this lifetime, it's really going to take you stepping outside of your emotional self and stepping into your logical self for a time, not for the entire time, but for a time, so you can get to this place where you can share your unconditional love, shine your unconditional light where it needs to be, where you choose it to be. because you have an exceptional ability to love some of the darkest corners of reality where many people can't seem to find a place to share love. You know, you may be designed to love situations and people and things that many people discard as trash, or like, why do we even put energy in this? You know, a Scorpio can be like, well, because they deserve love too, because it deserves love too. Wherever you're trying to focus this energy, whatever portal you're trying to open, you're lining things up and you're moving in that direction. But you have to find a space where you can balance your love, your mind, and your heart. How can you decide, okay, this is where I need to be logical. This is where I need to be more emotional. This is where I need to calm down on my emotions so I don't go around hurting people or setting, what is that? Like a fire starter? What is it called when false starts, false endings? So, you know, like imagine when you go on like a parachute or whatever, you know, like where you pulled the thing too fast, like it wasn't meant to end yet, or like it could have went a little longer. You know, we don't want to run around setting fires everywhere when we could be more controlled and more calculated and meticulous and thoughtful and thorough, you know, capturing more earth energies so that way we can build into what it is we seek to have in this lifetime. Accepting endings is hard. Being able to see the light, being able to see that the sun is still shining, that we are still light, because it's so hard when you're so comfortable just diving into situations with love, and then the minute something or someone or a situation doesn't reciprocate, you know, we're ready to pull out like hard, like we're pulling the whole rug from up underneath. There is no more love and we're just burning this bitch down, you know? I feel like there's a really dramatic energy that's trying to contain itself. It's trying to say, slow down. Let's just slow down a little bit. Let's think about this. What can we sit back and say, okay, this area of my life doesn't have to be so dramatic, because I'm clearly trying to get out of drama. That was my dog. I'm trying to get out of drama. So we're in a new moon right now. We're in a new moon in Capricorn, and we got this new moon in Gemini. So I feel like communicating your feelings directly and clearly is a key right now. Because if you've been giving love to a situation and you're needing to step aside and observe and become more practical, you're going to have to communicate that to something, to somebody. It could be yourself. You're needing to communicate. You need to communicate what it is you desire to others, so maybe you don't create such dramatic endings or burn bridges. That's exactly what that was. So you're trying to not burn bridges, and I understand. You know, we want to move to our next chapter without harming people. And I feel like Scorpios have a tendency to harm others. And it doesn't mean Scorpios are bad or intentionally going out trying to hurt people. It means Scorpios are on the defense when in lower vibration, or when backed into a corner. You know, naturally a Scorpio is going to find a way to defend itself, to protect itself for evolution purposes, whether it be yours or those involved, and most likely everyone's. It's all about evolution. So it's like releasing this energy. where you need to dramatically, you know, just turn cold and let this part of you be unleashed. I feel like that's not it. What it is being practical. And I don't even know what dogmatic means, but I heard the word dogmatic. So if you want to look that up, I literally don't know what dogmatic means. It makes me think dogma, stigma. I don't even know what dogma means. So, okay, we're just going to skip that. I would like if my guides, you know, speak words I know, please. All right. So let's see. This is going to be a ancestor message. I want to connect to your ancestors and find out what are you not seeing right now? What would be really, really smart and strategic for you to move forward into this next phase of your life? Thank you. The Rainmaker. So here's more emotions. And it's okay. So Spirit wants you to really recognize that you are in control of your emotions and where you spew them, where you direct them, where you balance them. There's a balanced way to communicate your feelings without shooting yourself in the foot, without harming other people. And I feel like Spirit, your guides, your ancestors inside of your DNA, deep within, that's trying to emerge to the surface, that's trying to come through, it wants you to say, it wants you to see that you are in control by releasing control. Not by going around looking for people to, that, like, who's out to get me, you know, not walking around like that. Like, who wants it today? Who's trying to go at it today? Like, that's not the mindset that your ancestors want you to have. They want you to control yourself by giving it away, by saying, you know what? I know that I'm loving. I know that I jump into situations. I know that I move too fast, or I abandon things. You know, I burn buildings down. Not, you know, this is figurative. I just bulldoze through energy quickly, and I don't take prisoners. And this can come off really dramatic to others, but to me, this is normal. This is like my Tuesday, you know, afternoon. This is like regular life. And your ancestors want you to harness that power. It's like having the power of fire, right? You know, being able to control it. Imagine having it in your hand, right? Like, think about when we learned to harness fire versus when we were burning, you know, entire forests down and we can't figure out how to stop it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you just need to, like, simmer down a bit and with, you know, step back, observe, find your yin, which is your feminine, balanced, go with the flow, receptive energy. It's about really receiving, you know, finding a place where you can actually receive blessings from your guides, from your ancestors, by communicating your emotions clearly and being receptive to what's coming in, not pushing and forcing things. You know, this emotional overflow right here, it's saying that you have everything you need inside of you. You actually have so much on a regular basis that you have so much not only for yourself but to give. So if you can learn to be adaptable and to accept this overflow that you are literally a walking conduit of love. Like, even if you're feeling dark and low and people have hurt you and left you and abandoned you, and you're having to make a big decision to move past, it's so saddening, but there are real people out there that to you, it's an entire mountain that you're moving for them just to get past, just to move past, because you feel bad. You feel bad leaving people or hurting people or whatever situations. And it can seem so big to you. And those people that you're worried so deeply about, they may only think of you on a surface level. You may be just another number in the book, another figure on the board, and it's so sad. It's so sad when you find that out, when you realize that person or that group may not have had, yeah, the cheetah, fire, action, moving. So what do you need to quickly, what is this quick movement? There's something really, really fast that needs to happen. Oh my gosh. Okay. Scorpio came out. We got the raccoon. We're going to take those. We're going to put these back. There's flying. Oh, there's the tiger though. Tigers, like, this is like, step into your power. Step into who you are. There's something lingering that needs to be released because you're, like I said, you are a walking emotional frequency. Wherever you go, you bring love and light to situations. And where energy that's dark and it needs to be transformed, as in people that mistreat others, let's say, you're put in that situation to mutate it, to transmute it, to flip it, right? We want to flip that energy upside down because that's not right. That's you. That's you. You're shining your light. You're shining all that darkness everywhere you go. It's, not saying the whole world's dark, but you're put into dark situations to be the light. You are the light. Look how dark, all that is. It's because you're meant to leave a situation so a dramatic ending can happen, but don't get put in a situation where the dramatic ending happens and then you burn a bridge and then people can actually blame you for the ending. You know what I'm saying? Like, be controlled and calculated, and whatever it is you're moving towards, however you're moving towards it, be very practical and thoughtful and thorough, and go over your checklist, be organized, write things down, like set a plan in motion. So when it's time to move, that you're going to do it powerfully. You're going to be not in a negative way, but you know how to manipulate energy. You know how to manipulate situations because your move's ahead. Like, the strategy's already in play. Like, you're just in your head playing with yourself. That's the thing. No one knows. No one's actually paying attention to how many moves ahead you are. But if you could get out of your head, you're going to harness that power. That's that fire that wants to be controlled. It doesn't want to burn everything down. It doesn't want to bring so much darkness to the situation. It wants to really bring love to the situation. But right now, that love needs to be kept and contained to a degree, to a level. So let's see. There's the yen. Let's see. We're going to get one of these because these are my far out there. You're going to see these are the interdimensionals, Lumerians to be exact. But I like the messages that come from them. These are our ancestors. These are like our ancestors from like maybe 15,000 years ago. I don't know. Time doesn't even exist, so who cares? Surrender. Yeah. So you're leveling up. You're moving into a new place. Your communication, co-creation. There you go. So you're trying to communicate. There's a lot coming to you right now. You know something. There's something you know and you're trying to move towards it, but your heart technically, in a sense, is holding you back from this expansion, this growth, this movement, because you're seeing something. You're seeing that there's a space for you to go to, that you're a star, that you have the ability to shine, that you have the ability to be different and unique and bring something to the world. Like I said, the world, some darkness of the world, you have the ability to shine light in that area. But it's going to take you surrendering yourself, accepting this surrender, coming together with your spirit, your guides, your ancestors, creating a space of vulnerability, being open, being receptive, tapping into the yin energy, and allowing the communications to come through, allowing the emotions to not get the best of you, because there's a lot more there's a lot more going on. And I feel like if you can get through this winter with peace, with balance, with harmony, with, not going around doing anything too dramatic, you can get to a very good place by summer. And if it's not a physical summer, which is next year for, seasonal people, it could be you getting out of a depression, you getting out of a space, a low space of vibration and energy that has you low. You can get to a space of happiness and joy and love and harmony, which is summer energy, which is your summer, where you shine, where you're magnetic, where you exuberate, or you're exuberant. I don't know if you can exuberate, but that is what the energy will become if you can find a place of balance and harmony. So that's what I have. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out my other channel, Jasmine's Universe, linked in the description below. And I'll see you again next time. Bye.